Hello once again, all the collectors out there. Welcome to another episode of Simulation Gaming. If you are new to the channel, please do me a favor and subscribe, click the little bell, share, like, all that fun stuff that YouTube wants you to do to help the algorithms and promote the video so other eyes will see it. And this is going to be episode number 3 of the Quidd application. So if you haven't watched the other 2 episodes, please go back and watch those. If you have no idea what the Quidd app is all about, go back, give them a quick look over. You might want to download the app. If you are a Quidd user already, whether it's recent or a long-time user, I hope you find something useful in the content today. And again, if you want to find me on Quidd, I am a Laptop Hound. This is Simulation Gaming, and let's talk a little bit more about the Quidd app. So in episode number 3, again, kind of more geared towards the newer users of Quidd, just want to outline some of the features that the app has, some of the things that you should be looking for when you're using the app, and hopefully a few hints and tips about making this Quidd experience a little more special for you and easier for you. So last episode, we talked about the franchises a little bit. We talked about, selling and buying certain stickers. We looked at what, my mind's drawing a blank here. We looked at what awards and rewards were all about. Shinies, that's the word I was looking for. Shinies, what those were about in Quidd. And today we want to kind of dig a little bit deeper into some of the features of this program. So again, if you are a collector, if you have been a collector, if you want to be a collector, this is a really, really good and easy app to use once you get the hang of it. So within your profile settings, if you see that little icon at the bottom in the bottom right hand corner, that's your profile. And in your profile, you can go and you can create a little write-up, as you see I have on my profile. You can take a photo or choose a photo from the library. So you'll see my Captain America icon. Also in your profile, it shows you how many items you own, how many prints you own, how many sets you own. Now this has taken a long time for me to collect this many. Again, as I mentioned before, I've been on Quidd since 2018. So for 4 years, I've been collecting on this app. And so therefore I have a high number of prints and items and sets that I've collected over the years. Something else that you should be aware of is in the top right-hand corner, you'll notice the gear. The gear gives you access to some of the other pieces of information about Quidd. You can connect through Facebook, if you use Facebook. You can connect with your Apple account. You can modify the Quidd keyboard and emojis. There's some tips that you can look on here to, kind of give yourself these little tutorials about Quidd. You can share it on different social media platforms, and you can of course rate it in the app store that you purchased it from. One of the things you should definitely do before you start heavily using Quidd is just take a look at the terms of service. So a lot of times when people download programs, right off the bat they get, do you accept the terms of service? And let's face it, most of us just click accept without really reading through. So do yourself a favor, take some time, especially since it involves real money, real currency. You want to take some time to go through and read through the Quidd terms of service. Because again, ownership of things that you buy, rules and regulations regarding content, regarding images that you can post up, involving virtual currency, you kind of want to be aware of these so that if for some reason you break the terms of service or do something that are against the terms of service, you at least have a little bit of a heads up about what you may have done wrong. So take some time, go through the terms of service. You can find that in your profile in the little gear section in the top left-hand corner. You can turn on and off sound effects if you want to hear the opening of the packs and hear some of the animation as you open packs. You can block certain users as well if, certain people are harassing you or, keep on begging you to buy their items and keep spamming you with messages. You can block them. Sometimes when you clear cache, that speeds up the performance of the app a little bit. Again, I'm working on an old iPhone, so I often clear cache quite a bit. And if you need any kind of support, if you have issues with something that you're doing with Quidd, you can go through and you can click on a specific area, kind of like an FAQ section, or you can actually contact Quidd through an email and let them know what kind of issues you're having. Now, Quidd support is very hit and miss. Some users have had very poor experience with Quidd support, and some have had really awesome experiences with Quidd support. I've had pretty good. Usually when I send Quidd a message, if I have an issue, whether it's a monetary issue or an item issue, they will usually get back to me within 48 to 72 hours, and for the most part resolve things to my satisfaction. Again, depending on what your issue is, you may experience different situations with the support staff. From my experiences, it's a very small support staff. Like I said, some users have had great experiences, some not so great, but it is there for you to use. And again, just be cordial, be polite, don't go in guns a-blazing when you contact support, and hopefully you will be one of the ones that has good experience with the Quidd support team. Like I said, I've always had good experience with them. You can enable push notifications as you see on here. You can look at your coin history. Quidd used to use coins rather than real cash. Very recently, they have deleted the coin option. So now purchases are only through real currency and not through virtual coins as they have in the past. So there are probably a few updates they'll need to make to this screen here as they evolve and as they change in how they do things. So highly recommended if you're new to Quidd, go click on that gear in your profile option and take a look at the little bit of information that they have there for you. Again, you got some other things at the top, storyboards. So you can, almost like an Instagram post, you can go and you can post some of your favorite stickers, some of your favorite cards. You can post those up, and you can also add people to your friend list. So these are people that will see your profile posts, that will see your little storyboards, and you will see theirs as well. So you can follow people. People can follow you, as you see at the top here. You can add different users. If you have a friend, you can contact them on the Quidd and add them as a user. Or if you have family or friends that are on Facebook and part of Quidd, you can add them to your friend list as well. And you can even share the link if you want to recommend Quidd to someone else. So that is up in the top corner as well. And then in the messages area, That is where people can direct message you. So just like on Twitter or other social media sites, once you are friends with someone, you can share direct messages back and forth that you and that other person will see. And so it's an easy way to communicate. It's an easy way to negotiate. You know, if you see an item they have and you want to pay $5 and they have it for $7, you can send them a quick direct message and say, hey, I really would like that card that you have up. Are you willing to take $5 for it? And they'll respond back, and hopefully they'll give you a little bit of a deal. What I find is the majority of Quidd users are awesome. They are part of a community where there is a lot of negotiation and a lot of friendliness and a lot of passion towards collecting. And very rarely have I been part of any kind of bullying or any kind of, you know, excessive trash talking like you might see in other social media platforms. The users of Quidd, passionate, yes. Very competitive, yes, some of them. But for the most part, very good people. Again, if you do experience any kind of issues with any users on Quidd, very easy to block them, as I showed you, or you can contact Quidd support and let them know what your issue was with a specific user. So that is the profile setting. The storyboard icon at the bottom, this little pencil, as I said, you can view all storyboards with the public button at the top. You can view storyboards of people that you follow. You can view storyboards of people that you friended. So 3 different options if you want to look at the storyboard. So like I said, like Instagram, kind of personalizes your experience on Quidd a little bit. So you might be scrolling through and you might see an item and go, hey, that's a very cool Spider-Man card. You can, you know, push the card towards the right-hand side. It will show you what set that card was from. So in this case, this was an actual award. So I can click on the award. It will take me directly to that set. I do not own that award, unfortunately, because it's grayed out, but I can click on it and I can see if any of them are on the marketplace. Now, none of these are on the marketplace. No one is selling the award right now. So what I'm going to do is say, hey, that's an awesome card. You'll also notice halfway down the print count, there were only 13 of these that were printed. So very rare Marvel cover award. And that probably explains why none of them are for sale. Now I can click on the wish list and I can say, hey, I want any number, any print. I just want to own this card. And I can put in what I'm willing to pay. So I'm willing to pay, $10 for this card. It's a rare one, and I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to submit it. And now you'll notice that little heart has filled in, and it is part of my wish list. So when people are listing things, as they come across this, they can look to see if other people are looking for this specific item. Or for your own personal use, it kind of keeps tabs of things that are on your wish list to remind yourself of what you might want to look for in future listings. So very cool card. Again, if I hold my thumb on it, it shows me what the card looks like. And cards have backgrounds as well. Now I believe if I click tap to flip, yeah, since I don't own the actual award, I can't flip it around to see the other side of it. So very cool feature. Also, you'll see here, it shows you some of the history of this card. So I can click on sales and I can see all versions of this specific award that has been sold since it was released. So you'll notice that one card, number 3, sold for $118. $118 that someone paid for this award. Another one sold for 25, another one for 30, and the number one print, probably the most valuable print of this award, number one, sold for $56. So you can see that it goes in chronological order from the oldest at the bottom to the newest sale at the top. So what this tells me is that when the card was first released, it had a high-end value of $56. But over time, a year later, almost 2 years later, the value of this card, the demand for it, went up to a point where someone was willing to pay $118 for a number 3 print. So I'm betting that that number 1 print is probably worth close to $150, $175 today. So that's where the investing can come in. And this is where this screen can become very helpful, because if you look at the previous sales, you get an idea of what you should sell yours for, and you get an idea if that card is actually increasing or decreasing in value. So some cool things that you can do as you go into someone's profile. So let's just pick one more here. So we got Lightning Rick, who posted a Neopet here, which was one of the recent awards. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to click on the award. I own 2 of them, so it's not grayed out. So I earned one in the checklist, and I also bought one. Most valuable rankings, I have higher numbers, so I'm not ranked too high. And when I click on the actual item, because it's a sticker, there is no background to it, so there's no backside to it like there would be with a card. But I can go and look at the sales for this one, and you'll notice that in a week's time, all these different Neopet sticker versions have sold. From the number 3 selling for $15 all the way to, number 100 selling for $1.25 and somewhere in between. So when I look at it, you can see that there are 231 of these awards. So a lot of people completed the challenge, and currently there are 37 listings for the award, with the number 1 currently on sale for $75. So this is where your intuition, your collecting knowledge comes into play. As a collector, if I like Neopets, or I think Neopets is going to have some long-term future and increase in value, I may say, I want to go and I want to buy that number 1 award. And it's already been bought. So this user has bought the number 1 award, either because they love Neopets and they wanted the number 1 print, or because they want to invest. And just like that Marvel cover award, they're thinking this is going to go up in value. In a year, 2 years time, it may be worth $100, $150, $200, and they may want to sell it at a higher price later on. So there's collecting for enjoyment, there's collecting for investment, or there's collecting for both. A lot of times the collectors on Quidd will collect because they really enjoy the license, the property, like Neopets, and they want to invest in long-term possible gains. So there's a little bit about the screen that allows you to access some information about the sales. And again, you can do that with any item, and you can check out any of the storyboards here simply by clicking to the right, dragging to the right, clicking on the item, and that will take you to the set that that item is from. Along the bottom as well, we have our collection screen, which I've showed before. Okay, these are all the different channels that you own at least one item in. So if I didn't own anything in the G.I. Joe, this would not show on my album. This is my own personal album of items. It shows how many sets that I have pieces of, and it shows how many sets I've completed. So for G.I. Joe, I've completed 21 of the 23 sets. So you'll see this one set in the middle here, the Cobra set I have not completed, and the G.I. Joe Kid Robot set I have not completed. So again, that's your album area, and only shows the properties or the channels that you own at least one item from. Now, you'll notice on mine, some of them have little purple numbers, okay, in the top right-hand corner. So when you buy an item, it doesn't add it to your album until you physically go into your album, click on the set, and then in the bottom corner, you'll see add 11. When I click add 11, it will add those items to that album. And then if you finish the whole set, it gives you this little cool little animation, you know, celebrating you completing the set. So it's kind of like, you know, when you go and you buy sports cards and you open them up, you've got them laying around. Well, you don't have them in an album yet. You have to actually physically take them and put them into the card holders in your album before it's part of that album. That's the same thing with Quidd. I bought these items, but they're just lying around. I need to go and physically, or I guess digitally, put them into the album that they belong with. And it's as easy as that. And so you'll notice that with the purple numbers, those are ones that have not completely been put into their albums yet. Okay, at the bottom, I showed you about the marketplace once before. So these are all the items that you can see for sale. They're in order of posting. As I mentioned in video 1, you can refine that. You can filter out the way that you want to see those items. What I did not show you is the other two tabs. One is your wish list. Okay, these were all the things that were added to your wish list. So if you remember, I added this top one, the Green Goblin cover award, to my wish list, and now it's showing there. And anytime I pick that item up, it shows as complete, and then I can click the little fulfilled, and I can remove it from my wish list. Okay, so again, just a little organizer for items you're specifically looking for and how much you're willing to pay. The other one in the middle is top sales. So if you're new to Quidd, you may not realize the value of some of the items that you pull in your packs. Here are the items, the most valuable items that sold in the last 24 hours. The Mars Rover, number 1 out of 10, $4,000. 4,000 US dollars. Yeah, let that sink in. That involves a little bit of music. Celebrate! Celebrate! Big Moose was fortunate enough to sell this Mars Rover for $4,000. Again, this is simply a digital card from Quidd that sold for that much money. There are 3 others on the listing, so if you would like your own Mars Rover, there you go. You can go and you can buy one for $4,000 or $5,000 or maximum $100,000. It is there waiting for you. You just got to make sure you have enough money in your account to buy it. Yeah, that is the potential of Quidd, guys. That is what you can earn. Now, you're not going to pull these items in every pack that you open. Many of them are awards. Many of them are very difficult to get. But some of them are not as difficult. You know, some of them in the $50 range, in the $30 range, in the $15 range are much easier for you to obtain and sell at some point. So here is from the Neopets channel. Here is the number 2 out of 2,000. There were 2,000 of these stickers. Go away. 2,000 of them. And Indie Mania sold this for $20 to WQ-TAM. So WQ-TAM said, hey, I want that. It's a low number. I love Neopets. Or it's a low number. It's going to go up in value. I'm going to buy it. And so that was sold over the last 24 hours for $20. So again, this is a good gauge for you if you're listing things to kind of look at what things are selling for. It shows the channels at the top here that have sold the most. If it's a green number, it's going up. People are buying that channel. If it's a red number, it's decreased in value over the last 24 hours. These are the brands that are popular or not as popular. Think of it like the stock market, the ebb and the flow of each brand over the last 24 hours. And it gives you options that you can look over the last 7 days. What items have sold over the last 7 days? That Mars Rover is still the top, but we see some other ones over $1,000 or close to $1,000. If I go back further to 30 days, that Mars Rover is number 2 now. The number 1 out of 50 Missile Command cartridge sold for dun, 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 more music. Celebrate. Bluish, congratulations. You sold your Missile Command number 1 cartridge for $4,999.99 American dollars. So for those of you out there that are new to Quidd and didn't realize the potential, how much money could be earned, there's evidence right there. Like I said, this is not guaranteed money. It takes hard work, it takes perseverance, it takes the right opportunity, and it takes luck when you're opening packs to receive some of these items. But anyone can do it, and you got to realize the risks that go with it as well. All right, YouTubers, thank you again for tuning in to episode 3 of my simulation gaming Quidd content. Please, if you like this content and want to see more, again, hit the subscribe button. Click the little bell for notifications. Give it a like if you think it's worthy. And leave a comment if you like as well. All right, enjoy your day. Have a blessed day, a blessed evening. And we will see you in episode 4.